Welcome to the weekly MindSweep number 211, What's on My Mind Value. Stop guessing your worth. From assumption to alignment, rethinking value. This month, we didn't just visit the idea of value, we moved in and made it our focus. We didn't turn value into a clever framework and move on. Instead, we let it interrupt our habits and ask uncomfortable questions. It followed us into spaces often overlooked: our calendars, our inboxes, our pricing, our spending, and into any place where we allocate our most valuable resources: time, energy, and attention. We allowed it to fundamentally reshape our patterns of thought. Dedicating an entire month to studying value changed my perspective in ways that I didn't anticipate, because value isn't theoretical, it's behavioral. It shows up in our actions. It shows up in what we protect and in what we tolerate. It shows in what we rush or linger over. And once you start really paying attention to it, you can't unsee it. One of the first changes I noticed was in how I spend as a consumer. It was about both what I buy and the reasons behind my choices. Where do I spend without hesitation? Where do I pause, overthink, or bargain with myself? What feels like an easy yes, and what feels heavy, even if the cost seems reasonable to me? Some purchases feel right, and I don't regret or question them. I use what I bought, enjoy it, and I do it again. Others feel sticky. I noticed resistance by looking for discounts, delaying, or trying to justify. And sometimes when I buy, I'd carry a quiet tension with me afterwards. Just noticing alone was revealing. Our resistance while buying reveals what we truly value beyond the price. That resistance isn't really about the price. It's about whether the value feels real, embodied, and trustworthy. And then, of course, the mirror appeared, because how we spend as consumers often reflects how we charge as creative entrepreneurs. As I paid attention to my own spending patterns, I started noticing the same dynamics in my business. Where do I confidently stand behind my pricing? Where do I explain too much? Where do I emotionally discount my work before anyone asks? Where do I give more than I planned and then quietly resent it? These moments aren't moral failures, they're just information. They show us where our sense of value is solid or tangled with old stories, fear, or the need for validation. Stories like, "This is what the market will bear. People won't pay for that. I should offer more to make it worth it. Others charge less, so I probably should too." None of these statements are facts, they're assumptions. And assumptions aren't a stable base for a sustainable business. Building your business on facts, not assumptions, ensures your business delivers enduring value. One of the greatest honors of this month has been sitting in the evolution of Curated Conversation alongside other creative, trailblazing entrepreneurs who are willing to honestly examine value. No bravado, no shortcuts, and without pretending that it's easy. Together, we looked at where our time, energy, and attention really go, not just where we think they go. We talked about what we give away for free and why we do it. We asked hard questions. Is this generosity or avoidance? Is this service or self-erasure? Is this aligned or inherited from hustle culture? We didn't rush to find answers. We slowed down to notice the patterns. Then we did something many entrepreneurs avoid because it can be uncomfortable. We looked at the numbers, not imagined or aspirational numbers, not if everything works out numbers, factual numbers, time audits, financial audits, capacity audits. Clarity doesn't come from hope or fear. Clarity comes from honestly facing facts about your business. Clarity is a key principle for growth. Facing reality with honesty and compassion is incredibly grounding. Many creative entrepreneurs make decisions based on math that isn't real. I hear statements like, I worked nonstop this year, but I don't know where the money went. I feel busy all the time, but I'm not sure what's actually moving the needle. I can't raise my prices because people won't pay. But when we slow down and look closely, we often discover we worked far more hours than we accounted for. We undervalued entire categories of labor. We took on costs, emotional, energetic, and relational, that never showed up in our pricing. Fear fills in the gaps when facts are missing. But when we know the facts, fear loses its power. Facts replace fear and enable grounded decisions. This month, I saw people adjust, not by getting louder or more forceful, but by becoming more grounded. They stood more confidently in what they offer. They let go of what no longer fit, and they took back energy lost to old habits. All of this came from one simple but powerful act: being honest about their numbers. One of the most beautiful outcomes of this work has been the kind of confidence that emerged. It wasn't a dopamine hype driven confidence or performative certainty, but rather a steadier, quieter confidence, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself. When someone understands what they offer, what it costs them to offer it, and how it genuinely helps others, they stop negotiating against themselves. They don't have to over explain, over deliver, or prove their worth ahead of time. They can simply show up and do the work. And that kind of confidence is contagious. Alignment, not performance, creates lasting confidence and inspiration. This month unfolded in layers. The weekly Mindsweep number 208 invited us to explore where our understanding of value came from in the first place. Family systems, cultural norms, economic structures, early experiences that quietly taught us what was worth it and what wasn't. Many of those lessons were absorbed long before we had the language for them and long before we had agency to question them. The weekly Mindsweep number 209 shifted our focus outward to the spaces we spend time in, the communities we learn from, and the conversations that make behaviors like discounting, overgiving, or always chasing more seem normal, because the rooms we sit in shape the mirrors we look into. Weekly Mindsweep number 210 turned inward again, exploring what happens when our value isn't recognized as we hoped, when something we put our heart into doesn't land, sell, or get noticed. Those moments can be destabilizing, but only if we mistake outcomes for identity. This month wasn't about avoiding disappointment, it was about understanding it more clearly. Clarity about disappointment builds resilience and self understanding. This brings me to what's on my mind now. If we want the market to change, we have to change how we show up in it. We can't wait for permission or look for outside approval. We need to value ourselves in real, practical, and consistent ways first. That means respecting our time instead of stretching it too thin, setting our prices based on experience, not on insecurity, letting our work speak for itself without excessive explanation, trusting the facts in front of us more than the fears in our minds. Valuing yourself isn't selfish. It makes your work sustainable. And that's what lets meaningful work last for years, not just for a workshop launch or a new offer. Self-value underpins sustainable, lasting impact. This month didn't give me a tidy set of answers. It gave me a sense of alignment. Alignment between what I say I value and how I actually live. Alignment between my generosity and the capacity of what I can actually give. Alignment between the work I'm meant to do and how I support myself while doing it. I'm learning that alignment is one of the clearest signs of real value. When something is aligned, it doesn't need constant effort. It just works. That's what I'll take from me from this month. Alignment is essential for meaningful, sustainable work. It's not about having a formula or rule book. It's the willingness to tell the truth about what matters and building from there that shapes lasting, meaningful work. That's the real measure of value I want to hold on to, and I hope you will too. My questions for you this week: What did you notice this month about how you spend your time, energy, or attention that may have surprised you? What numbers in your business, time, revenue, capacity, have you been avoiding, and what might change if you looked at them honestly? I'd love for you to reply and share with me. You belong here, and I can help. You know your numbers deserve a gentler, clearer review, and you don't have to face that by yourself. This is how I support creative entrepreneurs. We take our time, we collect the facts together, we review the real numbers together time, capacity, energy, and money, all without judgment or rushing. From there, we make informed, lasting choices that truly fit your life and your business. We don't make decisions out of fear. We don't just follow what the market says. Instead, we focus on what's real for you. If you want a safe, thoughtful space to gain clarity, I'd be happy to work with you. You can book a free consultation and learn how I can support you in your business at my website, chickbookcreative.com. I'd love to also share with you the opportunity to join us for Curated Conversation. If this conversation sparked curiosity, resistance, relief, or a quiet, yes, this is it, you don't have to do it alone. Curated Conversation is a weekly live space for thoughtful, heart-centered entrepreneurs to slow down, speak honestly, and explore topics like value without pressure to perform or prove. We gather to listen, reflect, and make sense of what's shaping our businesses and decisions together. If you've never joined us, your first month is free. Come sit in the room. Listen if you want. Speak when you're ready. Stay if it feels like home. We gather Mondays at 8 a.m. You can start with coffee, and belonging is included. You can learn more about this and book a free consultation at chickbookcreative.com.